Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. It's been a couple of weeks now since my initial first hands-on impression of the official grip for the Retroid Pocket 5. In that video I gave my initial thoughts upon opening the box and feeling it for the first time, and I gave some instinctive scores for how comfortable it felt to use in various situations. After now using this grip extensively for 2 weeks, I will be revisiting those scores and seeing if it's worth your hard-earned money. The Retroid Pocket 5 is an Android handheld that released back in November 2024 and quickly cemented itself as one of the best on the market, particularly for its $219 asking price. It's a handheld capable of emulating anything up to light to medium secret console titles, and even some pretty impressive Windows titles like Red Dead Redemption and GTA 5, providing you lower the quality a little bit. While the Retroid Pocket 5 flourishes in so many areas and has received glowing reviews from so many people, there's always been one common negative shared by many users: the ergonomics. Ergonomics will always be a subjective thing, and there are plenty of people who find it very comfortable just the way it is. I've never found this to be the most comfortable device in the world, but I've been more than comfortable enough with the ergonomics to use it without any real issues. Depending on the size of your hands and how you hold the device, your mileage will vary. 6 months after the Retroid Pocket 5's release, Retroid finally announced the long-awaited official grip accessory to add more comfort to an almost perfect device. Until then, we had numerous third-party alternatives that had been brought to market to remedy what was an issue for a number of people. And like any third-party accessory for what is already quite a niche product, the quality of those grips were varied. Probably the most popular grip on the market was the JC-SFY grip from Etsy. It's been described as being very comfortable and can even double function as a screen cover. The issue with most of these products is the shipping is often as expensive as the item itself. This is an area where I hoped the official Retroid grip would be better, but it was even worse! One potential option could be to check AliExpress, as they often offer free shipping on anything, so you could possibly save quite a lot of money there. I did see the official grip for sale on AliExpress, but I did also see a fair few reviews of the grip arriving deformed and needing to be fixed with a heat gun or hairdryer. So if you want to ensure you get one in good condition, check out my affiliate link in the description to the official Retroid store. 2 weeks ago, I finally got the grip in my hands and immediately noticed the improved comfort. The grips extend away from the body and have a much larger diameter compared to the ergonomic bumps of the Retroid Pocket 5. Wrapping your hand around this considerably larger area is considerably more comfortable. Anyone who's played a Nintendo Switch will know how uncomfortable it can be to hold a rectangular slab for a length of time. So bringing this grip of the Retroid Pocket 5 closer to something like an Xbox controller grip makes it far more comfortable for me. Before we jump into the game tests and I go over my scores from the previous video, there were a few comments and questions on my previous video that I'd like to address now. Can it be used as a screen cover? Yes, at least somewhat. It does fit inside the grip when reversed, and that would protect the screen from a fall. Now there is an opening here for the fan ventilation, which means that this area of the screen is exposed, but due to the thickness of the grip itself would take the impact of a fall. So if you were unfortunate enough to drop this, it should be protected pretty well. In this particular situation, some of the previously mentioned third-party alternatives like the JC-SFY might be better, because that was actually made with this use case in mind. So this grip absolutely can be used as a screen cover for further protection, but it doesn't seem like it was made for this. Are there any good cases for the Retroid Pocket 5 in the grip? Yes. I made a video several months ago showing different pencil cases that could be used to protect the Retroid Pocket 5. I eventually settled on this Pokemon one, which I think looks really nice, and it also fits pretty well and does a good job protecting the Retroid Pocket 5. But there is a little bit of extra space, so it does wiggle around a bit inside. But the good news is the Retroid Pocket 5 in its grip case fits perfectly in a Nintendo Switch Lite case. This is a match made in heaven. So if you are intending to pick up the official grip, or you have one already, pick up a Nintendo Switch Lite case, which are so widely available, and this will be a great pairing. Is it heavy? The The grip is 73 grams. To put the weight of the Retroid Pocket 5 in its case in perspective, it's a tiny bit heavier than the Nintendo new 3DS XL at 330 grams. It's a little bit lighter than an OG Nintendo Switch, which is around 400 grams with the Joy-Cons. It's still quite a bit lighter than the Odin 2 Portal at 430 grams, and much lighter than a Nintendo Switch 2, which is a hefty 534 grams with the Joy-Cons. I find this added weight really nice because it makes the handheld feel more substantial in your hands, but without being heavy or cumbersome. And while discussing the comfort of the grip, I'd like to bring up Cytek's experience and how it's helped. Cytek commented on my Retroid Pocket 5 videos all the way back in November, asking if it heats up a lot during use, which could be problematic due to a rare illness that they have. I'm really happy to see the grip has completely fixed any discomfort that Cytek had, and they're now able to use it comfortably at any time. It's these comments from people in the community that make me so happy to make content like this because I really want to help people. So I just want to say personally to Cytek or TechDuck, I'm really happy that this content has helped you and that you're now gaming comfortably. On the topic of the material of this grip, I actually have a lot of experience with 3D printing and modeling, and most of the 3D printed grips on the market would likely be made of PLA or PETG, which are great because they're cheap, they're really easy to use, but the problem is they can be quite abrasive and they can be known to scratch things. So with a beautiful all-glass device like the Retroid Pocket 5, it could be prone to scratching when using a 3D printed grip, and that's why I never bought one in the past. The official grip, however, is made of a flexible TPU, so there's no chance it's going to scratch your device, which is what made this much more appealing for me. It feels really good quality, it's very flexible as you can see, but it also feels sturdy. The only slight concern I have is this top flap up here. When compared to the Odin 2 Portal grip, it's a little bit flimsier. The Odin 2 Portal's grip is stiffer and really snaps onto the device, whereas the Retroid Pocket 5 grip on the other hand is a little bit flimsy and doesn't quite snap on as much as it just kind of slides over the top. This isn't really a problem, it just feels very easy to lift the grip off, which makes me worry it might fall out someday. But so far in my testing, doing little wiggles and shakes like this, it does feel pretty solidly in there. So I don't think it's actually a problem, it's just something I thought I should mention. So now let's look at those initial scores that I gave the Retroid Pocket 5 without a grip and with a grip. So without a grip, I gave the D-pad comfort, playing D-pad games like this, 9 out of 10. And I don't think the grip really changes that. I've also not played a single D-pad game in the 2 weeks I've had this grip, so I cannot comment on the improvement there because I just simply don't play D-pad games on this device. If I want to play a D-pad game, I'll use either the TrimUI Brick or the Retroid Pocket Classic. And I have a head-to-head versus video of these two coming out on Friday, so subscribe for that one. Also with right stick only games like Ace Golf that I showed last time, I haven't played that in the last 2 weeks, but I'd assume the score stays the same. Where I have been playing a lot in the last 2 weeks is left stick only games and dual stick games. So left stick only is when I use just the left analog stick and the face buttons together, which is probably the most common layout in a lot of games I play. Let's take this game Balatro for example, which yes of course we could play with the D-pad very nicely, but what can I say, I'm just an analog stick guy. And compared to not using a grip, it is far more comfortable. I find the analog stick to be a lot more comfortable due to the grip pushing my hand a little bit further away, so it's not quite so cramped bending my thumb down here, and also having that extra thickness to wrap my hand around so there's no gap between my fingers like you would find without the grip or with a thinner device. So overall I would improve this score from a 5 to definitely more than a 7. I would now give this a solid 8 out of 10. I think it's very comfortable to play games this way. My only slight gripe is still having to bend my thumb down like this. I really wish the left analog stick was at the top, because as I said before, I just don't use the Retroid Pocket 5 to play D-pad games. Where the grip has helped the most is in dual analog stick games like first-person shooters. When playing games using the D-pad and the face buttons, it's very comfortable to hold, but when you want to play games using the dual analog sticks, you need to move your hand further down the device. If you see how I'm holding it right now, it's nice and comfortable, with the grip filling up the palm of my hand. But if you imagine this grip wasn't there, what would I be holding right now? I'd be holding thin air and just gripping onto the device for my dear life. So the grip definitely helps in this scenario, being able to put that nice thick chunky grip in your hand and holding the device comfortably. The only way this could really be more comfortable is if the grip was potentially a little bit longer so I could hold it further down still, or once again if the analog sticks were a little bit higher up. But the difference this grip makes by filling up the palm of my hand like this when I play these dual stick games is huge. And in my first initial impressions, I tentatively said maybe it would go from a 6 out of 10 for me to maybe a 7 out of 10 because I didn't want to give too high a score with only little usage. But after 2 weeks of extensive dual stick gaming, I can say this is comfortably at least a 9 out of 10 for me now. This is very, very comfortable. The title of this video says this grip has completely changed how I use the Retroid Pocket 5, and that is true. So let's talk about that now. Before I got the grip, I'd mostly play games that used one analog stick and the face buttons, and I would avoid dual analog stick games besides FIFA 18 because they made me feel quite uncomfortable. I'd mostly play lighter secret console games, as well as what I initially intended to play when I picked up the device. PS2 and GameCube games from that era. I also really got into playing Dreamcast games because I really liked that early 3D graphics. Before I got the grip, I was mostly playing games like The Simpsons Hit and Run, Crazy Taxi, and Virtua Tennis. While I still play those games occasionally, my most commonly played games have now completely changed. The grip has made the Retroid Pocket 5 so much more comfortable for dual stick games that I've now really gotten into FPS games again, as well as PC games in general. Because of this, I've signed up to Nvidia's GeForce Now again, as well as Xbox Game Pass. I made videos on both of these services many months ago, but I've not really used them since then. I just made those videos for testing purposes and to show people what's possible. Since getting the grip, however, I've got completely addicted to these services, playing so many games from these game libraries. I've especially put an unholy amount of time into Battlefield 5 these past 2 weeks. I used to really love Battlefield 2, and I remember watching very early YouTube videos of graphics cards, hoping that my computer could handle it better. I'm now playing Battlefield 5, 32 versus 32 players, with exploding terrain at 1080p, 60 FPS on a beautiful OLED in the palm of my hands. This is mind-blowing. These streaming services use powerful computers on their end, so you can run this really on any device that you may have. But the Retroid Pocket 5 is just so well suited for this. With its beautiful screen and built-in controls, it's just a match made in heaven for this. And given that I'm playing on the PC version of the game, I'm going to be coming up against people with keyboards and mice. And I have these two little analog sticks, so I'm basically just dying repeatedly and not really ever killing anybody. But I'm still having a really fun time. And if at any point I do manage to kill someone, it's like scoring a goal in the World Cup final. I'm like jumping around the room, I got a kill! These streaming services are obviously not perfect. You have to pay a monthly fee for them, and you need an internet connection to play even offline games. But if you are at home with an internet connection, I think it's a really good option, because I'm now able to play a lot of the games I used to play on my Steam Deck. Slay the Spire is the game that I played the most, and we have a few other ways of playing Slay the Spire on the Retroid Pocket 5. We have the secret console version, we have an Android version, although that's touchscreen only, so that's not really very good. But what's great about GeForce Now is it uses your Steam library, so you're able to access your Steam cloud saves and save to the cloud from GeForce Now as well. So you can pick up and carry on your saves from Steam on the go. I think this is excellent, and I really overlooked this feature when I reviewed this a few months ago. So while I am able to play this game on the go without an internet connection using the secret console version, it looks sharper here. It's also smoother, it's faster, it's an overall nicer experience. And I'm able to use my over 1,000 hours of save files, so I can jump straight into Ascension level 20, the highest level in the game, without having to start everything all over again. This may just be the best experience I've had of Slay the Spire so far. And while GeForce Now doesn't have every game on the Steam library, not even close, it does have my favourite game, Slay the Spire, and it also has the most played game of mine around the time I picked up the Retroid Pocket 5, which is Palia, a nice chill and cozy MMO game that I was playing a lot on my Steam Deck around the time I picked up the Retroid Pocket 5. And being a game that's not available for the Retroid Pocket 5, it's one that I really miss all the time. So seeing that it was available on GeForce Now was excellent for me. Once again, the game runs absolutely beautifully here, it looks fantastic, and I may even prefer it once again to playing it on the Steam Deck, because the Retroid Pocket 5 is just so small and lightweight, the added grip makes it nice and comfortable, and the screen is just incredible. It's probably my favorite screen on any device I own. And if you followed my channel before, you also know I have a sound fix to make it sound pretty decent too. So all in all, this is now a fantastic Windows game package using these cloud services, and this has been the way I've been using the grip most in the past 2 weeks. I've barely put the Retroid Pocket 5 down the past 2 weeks. It's been a literal game changer. So is the official grip worth buying? In my opinion, absolutely yes. The one issue I have is that shipping price, because the $15 price point is becoming $40 due to that super high shipping fee. So I hope they can get that down soon, but I do think even at $30 or $40, for me this is still worth it, because it has truly elevated the comfort of this to the next level, and since getting this grip, I've barely touched any of my other devices. This grip has really opened new gaming opportunities for me, so if you do buy this grip and end up like me, maybe just factor those subscription costs into your budget as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to pick up this grip or the Retroid Pocket 5 or both for yourself, check out my affiliate link in the description, which really helps me out as well. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.